Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the DC direct from McFarlane Toys Batman from No Man's Land. I don't understand. This one's DC direct. Were they always when they're digital? I don't know what's going on. It's McFarlane Toys digital Batman. Even though there's a physical figure, you get a digital Batman with it. This company is doing some weird stuff. And I don't get the whole DC Direct thing. I guess they owned the ability to make DC Direct stuff during the time they had the license. I don't know. I don't get it. But this is a McFarlane Toys Batman. Like all the other ones, they're all interchangeable. Why they have different packaging, I'm sure it's a licensing thing, but the McFarlane Toys digital thing is just absurd, and the packages are ugly. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, so before we look at the figure, let's take a look at my package. It is the ugly teal package with the blue, and it's just really an unappealing package. So for those of you collecting on the card, I'm sorry that they couldn't just keep things consistent. I don't know what they're doing. At least we got some cool artwork back here that shows you how much better the figure could have looked. That's what Batman looks like there, and the figure is using that other body that doesn't match that at all. So there's that. Okay, let's set that aside. This guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. If you want to get one, I'll put a link in the description below. It's not a bad figure. It's the same figure we've gotten a bunch of other times in a new color scheme, so you may want to get it. I don't know. For those of you collecting Batman figures like me, gotta catch them all. 18.5 by, I'm not catching them all, I'm joking, by like 18.5 to the head, 19.5 to the ears. Sorry guys, I'm still sick, and I'm on a variety of medication. 7.25 to the head, 7 and I don't know, 5/8 to the ears. Here he is up against Darwin, and here he is up against a bigger, beefier Batman that matches the artwork more. It makes this figure look silly because these are in the same scale, according to Todd. Todd, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't think this body is a great choice, but it's a body that a lot of people have liked in the past, so maybe that's why they used it. So let's go ahead and review it. Darker gray, darker blue. I know that's an appealing look. I'm kind of okay with it. This figure is shiny though. His gray parts are so shiny, especially coming off the heels of that Troika figure where everything's a nice matte finish. This does not look great, have to say. The coloring, not bad. It doesn't match the artwork perfectly, but it's fine. Bat logo looks good. The belt is super bright. I wish they would have toned that down some. And then there's no paint anywhere else other than where it's necessary for the head. It's a decent sculpt for the head, for sure. I don't know if it's the best one they've done, but it's a really good one. No problem there. The paintwork on the face is decent, other than where I have blue scuff marks on his face. Also have blue on his shoulders there. And here's the thing that's a problem for me, is we have the metallic capes again, that's whatever. It's supposed to be wired, you can see, because this figure has a wired cape setup. And the cape has the seam down the side, or whatever you want to call that, the pocket. Is mine defective? Do none of these have the wire? I don't think they've done one of these that doesn't have a wire, yet this one does not. So if you guys have this figure, let me know. I think I might have gotten hosed, or did they just not wire this? But it looks ridiculous without having the wires in it. So that's a bummer. Otherwise, the figure is just a really basic, the bat logo's a little bit crooked, really basic run-of-the-mill Batman that's just in a different color scheme. His head looks a little bit too big on this body, and it's just unimpressive looking, and the shininess sucks. So if they had just done what they did, but done it correctly, it would have gotten like an 8 maybe, because it looks decent enough, but it's going to get a 6. Being shiny and having a little bit of a bobblehead on the skinnier body, it just doesn't work. I think this body's a little bit too trim for almost every version of the Bruce Wayne Batman. Maybe for Dick Grayson Batman, but not for Bruce. It looks just too slender, and I know sometimes he is, and that's fine. But the way they put things together, like if it had a smaller head that was a little bit lower, it would have looked a lot better. But the way it is, it looks a little goofy. So not thrilled with this one, unfortunately. And this was one I was most looking forward to. As far as accessories go, one gripping hand for each side and one punchy hand for each side. That's fine. A normal size batarang, that's nice. We don't always get that. And then we have our McFarlane Toys digital display stand, which is just an absurd thing. Why would you want a McFarlane Toys digital logo on your physical display stand? You get your collector card that shows the artwork that makes Batman look way better than the figure does, but it has that weird teal outline, and then you get your digital card that lets you have a digital version of the figure, because who freaking knows? 3 out of 10 for accessories. It is the bare minimum. Alright, for articulation, it's going to be everything we know from this body, but we'll run it real quick just in case. He can look up, he can look down a little bit, lean side to side. Sure, rotation is fine. That's good. It's a double ball peg. Neck's a little bit big for the head, but it's fine. Shoulders move around nicely like that, and then you get your hinge to go up to horizontal and full rotation. Like I said, my cape doesn't have a wire. It seems like it should. I maybe could do it myself if I wanted to, but that's not the point of the review, so he should have a wire there. It doesn't affect articulation since there's no wire. Double jointed elbow, hideous but functional. Wrists are unsculpted. That's not the way I like to do wrists personally. They're too in the way of the look of the figure. I mean, they're only okay if you don't use them. A ball hinge like that really needs to be recessed at least a little bit into the sculpt. They just made it part of the sculpt, so it looks a little bit weird, but it is hyper functional if you really want to move those hands around. Leaning back works nicely, so that's okay. Leaning forward is not the worst. We've seen way worse than that. Leaning to the side is okay, and of course you're going to get your rotation out of those two joints, though he's a little bit picky as to how easy that is to move. You're gonna have to grab different parts at different times, that's what she said, to get it to work. Okay, going out to the side for the hips. Yeah, functional, almost splits. Bring the legs forward. Yeah, you're really gonna have to stretch that plastic. I wouldn't recommend it. I suspect this will stretch and get white marks, so be careful. It looks decent, but you're gonna have to trim that if you want to get better range out of that. Same thing with going back. It will stretch, but it's PVC. PVC isn't a stretchy plastic. It will stretch, but then have problems, so be careful. Thigh swivel, basically non-existent. Double jointed knee works well enough. Proportioning is okay. Ankles are fairly heavily ratcheted. It's not the best. It's like the wrists. Like, you get your range, but at what cost? It's not fun to use these joints very well. And then the toes are technically functional, but kind of ugly. So yeah, it's another run-of-the-mill Batman. 7 out of 10 for articulation. And now it's time for the final verdict on this repaint. Mostly repaint. It's fine if you really want this version of Batman, which is kind of close to source accurate, then it's whatever. The digital ones, I think they cost more, so that sucks. And if none of them have wires, then that's a big issue too. That kind of sucks, because like, if I can pull the cape down using the wire, that makes it look a little bit better, but having it just floof like that, it looks cheap. It looks really cheap. And having that bobblehead sucks too. So I don't think this is a very good release, even for those of us who are just accepting the absolute mediocrity of this line and just trying to collect the Batman Skittles. It's like, meh. This one's gonna get a 6 out of 10 from me. If they even just did what they did here, but did it just a little bit better, it's like a 7. It's fine. It's worth picking up if you're trying to get the Skittles, like I said, but it's certainly not anything impressive in any way. And I don't think Mattel's going to do any better, frankly. I hope they do. I don't think they will. But I am so indifferent at this point because this line does not please me. The only thing good about the McFarlane Batman line is that he's really doing deep cuts for Batman characters. Or Batman styles, I mean, not characters. It's almost all just Batman. So that's kind of cool, but if the figures aren't that good most of the time, then what's the point? So yeah, I'm just totally indifferent. DC seems to be missing their mark in just about every way across the board. Like, yeah, Superman did okay, I guess, but have they been overall successful in movies? No. What about video games? No. Oh, what about toys? No. What are they doing? What's happening at DC? Anyway, figure's not that great, so I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you want one, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.